All right, we're gonna start this one over. Okay. All right. Hi, Jen. I was hoping that you'd find me again. Let me know how the, I did see that. Thank you. Let me know what kind of reading that you would like, Jen. And then let me know, anybody on here, let me know how the connection is. Is it still freezing? Can you hear me? Etc. and then I'll kind of. Hi, Caitlin. Yeah, I did see that. Oh, so far so good. Okay, better. All right, cool. All right. I do see you, Caitlin. However, I did get a paid reading. And stick around if you feel called to. But I always do my paid readings first. And thank y'all for letting me know. And thank you guys for letting me know that it was crap. The connection was crap. So, let's see. All right. Let's see. Jen, what kind of question did you have, my dear? It doesn't say in Cash App from where I am sitting. It doesn't, I don't see it. That's Oh, love reading. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. All right, cool. So I'm going to connect to you, my dear. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. All right, so Jen, let me find you first and connect to you. Interesting. Okay. All right, Jen, I'm going to have you, you don't have to close your eyes or anything, but I'm going to invite you to breathe. Take some deep breaths and breathe into your heart space. Just take some deep breaths and focus on your heart for me. Because when I go to connect to your energy, you're not necessarily hiding, but I do feel there is a reluctance or an apprehension in your energy field, and it comes across kind of fluttery for me. So just take some deep breaths into that heart space. Okay, love. So I'm going to connect to your guides, your highest self. Love, love. I'm actually feeling called to a different deck for once. To the Cosmic Consciousness Ascension deck. I think there's a card in here. I typically read people first, but I'm hearing to pull a card first. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see. All right, so Jen, keep taking those deep breaths for me. Love. Jen, love. Highest, most benevolent. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That already tells me a lot of information. Let me just kind of I'm just kind of listening. Geared towards, okay, all right. So I got this card. Got the communication card. Okay. It actually showed up like, actually it was showed up like this. Showed up like this. Down and to the left. So this actually feels to me, as I tune into this, it feels like the feminine energy that you hold. It feels like within the feminine energy, we all have both. So it's not about gender. Feminine energy is receptive, magnetic, flowy, fluid, non-linear, right? There's something about okay, hold on. The way this reads to me is that it feels like there is like a reluctance. Like it feels similar to when I was initially trying to connect to your energy. There's a reluctance in communication on that side. And this feels like it's also goes back to, I want to say it's an emotional wound, since it's connected to the feminine energy. It feels like it's connected to an emotional wound that is cuts off communication in your feminine energy within relationships. Okay. And so as far as a love reading goes, it feels like there's an invitation to lean into whatever emotional wounds you might have around communication, communicating your feelings, communicating vulnerably, authentically, and any other beliefs around communication that you might have, and vulnerability and intimacy around that feminine energy, because it feels like the feminine energy is actually being highlighted here as it pertains to communication. Okay, there's also an aspect of this that is, I'm feeling it almost like a mirror. I'm feeling it reflect back to you or come back to you of communication within. So communication within yourself, almost like, actually the way it kind of comes across, what I sense is, what are you not communicating to yourself, or what are you denying, or what are you in denial about? Basically, anything along the lines that would obstruct clear communication within you and truthful communication within you, because we're talking about the throat chakra here, okay? And the way this plays into a love reading is that this is how I'm reading it in this moment. It comes across as, I guess, do I want to say it that way? It comes across as a more significant obstacle or block, quote unquote block, for you when it comes to love or romantic partnerships. Okay. And so that's why I'm getting the sense, the invitation to invite you to explore what may be out of alignment as far as communication goes. Okay. So there's that part, there's that piece. Now I'm going to tune into the timelines as far as love, because you're asking for love. Typically, if we're looking for love or asking about love, we want to know if there's a timeline out there, right? Or how soon is it going to happen, etc. Okay. There's quite a big gap here, okay? And this is how it comes through. So I'm just going to relay it how it comes through. I get the number 3. And I'm hearing months to years. So 3 months to 3 years. And I know that's a big gap, right? It's like that's like when we call the cable guy out or whatever to come fix our shit, and then like it's like it's like that. This is because, or one of the reasons of this is because your alignment and your commitment to aligning and your commitment to releasing the old stuff. So it's kind of like a carrot. Also at the same time, I would caution, we're not doing the things to get the things. It's all about self-awareness and knowing thyself first. But it does I do kind of get the sense of like, the sooner you come into alignment, the sooner something can manifest. But that's a big gap. I don't think I've ever had that big of a gap reading someone. I typically get like a certain time frame, and it's not like it's never been like 3 months to 3 years. But that's how it comes across, so I'm just going to relay it to that. And that all correlates to your alignment and your ability to commit to excavating the communication issue, I will say. You know, everything is based on like our decisions, and everything is in flux as far as how things or when things are going to manifest. It's based on our choices. So I think that's why the big gap. And I'm just gonna listen for a second to see if there's anything else. Okay. All right. So they want me to go a little bit deeper into the communication thing, okay? All right. That's a lot of information. Hold on. When you because of the communication issue, if you feel weird about feeling vulnerable or authentic, if we have blocks in those regions, or feel like we can't speak up or we can't speak our truth, how it comes across to me is that if you feel like you can't be truthful or in your truth, the person that you're wanting to consciously manifest might actually take that as lying. Okay? Because if we can't be honest with ourselves, we're lying to ourselves on a level. Okay? And so if we feel like we can't be super completely honest and authentic and vulnerable in a relationship, then the person, it comes across as the person that you're wanting to manifest would see that as a lie, and therefore that relationship probably wouldn't last. So therefore it becomes an issue of aligning first and figuring out how to speak your truth first and being oriented towards your truth first, so that if and when you get into a relationship, when that person comes, you're going to be the person that they agreed to meet in this life. Does that make sense? Okay. The communication comes in big, 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 big for you. Because it's not that you're necessarily lying. It's just that there feels like unsure of how to navigate your feelings, your needs, and communicate those in order to have those met in the relationship. Okay, that's kind of how it comes across. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna trust that it's gonna land in whatever way it needs to land for you. Okay, but that's how it comes across. Okay, the other piece is that, kind of reiterating what I was saying before, is that it just feels like this is a piece that needs to be put in place before something else can come in. Not to say that something won't come in before that, um, but it could be another relationship to teach you that would be a reflection of that communication issue. Okay. Um, but this is how the word I hear is crucial. I'm going to say significant. Take whatever word that resonates with you most, but it feels like a significant piece to put in place and to have in place before getting into another relationship. Okay. And your guides, your highest self is always there helping you. They wanted to put that in there. Like, we're there, we're helping you, we're guiding you to show you. And it feels like you already have an idea of what this is. It's just an invitation to go deeper into this in order to align in the way that you want to align consciously to the relationship you're looking to bring in. Okay, that's what I'm feeling for you. I'm talking to a new guy after ending a relationship a while ago. Okay. Well, I feel like Jen, I feel like that kind of answered your question. Did those answer your questions? I can Hi Jillian. I don't know if you're there. Um you said, is he worth it? I still get communication stuff. If the communication stuff still hasn't been open and honest, we can be with each other. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, so no. All right. You say, is he worth it? Well, that's up for you. That's up to you to decide, honestly. So, with that, let me just fill into the connection. Yeah, it feels, as long as that communication can stay open and honest, vulnerable, authentic, it feels like a pretty good, stable connection. Is he worth it? Okay. So this is kind of what I get coming through. It's important for you to be connected to your own values. You know, value, worth, appreciation, etc. There's a reason why they're also the same kind of terms that we use for money, right? Our currency and value, and like exchanging currency, exchanging energy with others. So is he worth it? I feel like I'm being taken back to your value system. You know, is there trust? Is there communication? Or whatever values that you have, are those there? Are those present? Okay? That's how you know if it's worth it or not. But I do understand what you're saying. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Say that again. I get like, of course it's worth it. Isn't everything worth it? If it feels aligned, if it feels aligned, if the values are there, wouldn't it be worth it, even if in the end it didn't work out? That's the question I feel that comes through. I'm not saying that that it's not going to. So don't take it as it's saying that. It's just the question that comes through. If the values are there, right? If your values, if he's aligning with your values, like trust, communication, honesty, whatever other values that are there or that you have are there, it feels like a yes, even if it doesn't work out, because then you would have learned something. Okay. But it does, despite all of that, it does feel like a nice solid foundation to build off of. Okay. You're just, not that okay, let me say it this way instead. There's a nice solid connection to build a foundation off of. Okay. And make sure that you're building a foundation first. And take your time building that foundation. There's no rush. Okay. That is what I feel. Let me look at the comments. Yeah, jazz, jazzy. Yeah, that's where I was. That's why I say, that's why I ask for people to have the specific question first, so that I can meet you where you're looking to go. But yeah, that's what I was getting. Jen says, I mean, so far, yes. That's why I wanted a reading. That's why I agreed to the date. It does feel like a nice solid connection. And then from there, you kind of see, are the values aligned? The only other really important thing here is to know your values going into that, and then be very, very connected to those, so that if this person, or if another person, whatever, does not align to those, you can instantly tell, like, oh, this person's not for me. Okay. So being very connected to your values is very important. Oh, yeah, I didn't see it. It must have, maybe it came in after I closed my eyes. So that's partially my bad. Well, we all have love. We already have love. It's already in here. I do know what you mean, Jazz, though. It's already here. We can cultivate it in here. It's just that we've been taught to externalize love. I think it was maybe a little bit of both of us, but it's okay. It's all good. We got there. We got there. All right. So let me know, Jen. I feel like we got there. So if you're still on the live and you'd like a free reading, let me know. Please share out the live. We lost quite a few people. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So share out the live. Otherwise, I might restart the live. I don't know. Who cares? But if you do want a free reading, leave a comment with your name and a question, general, love, health, career, no pregnancy or fertility, or a 1-card pool. Okay, and then I'll just meander to whoever. I do appreciate being able to read for you, because every time I read for somebody, it helps me to clarify, be more clear in how I read or ask questions or whatever. So I do appreciate the practice there. Well, she paid for a reading, so hers was a little longer. Typically, I do my best readings. To be honest, I do my best readings when they're booked, because then I get to do a super in-depth and like channel everything that comes through. On the lives, I have to like kind of I have like parameters set up. You'd like what is it, the same kind of, is it like a love reading? Is that what you're asking for, Jazz? On your current connection. Okay. So I see Jazz or lost connection. I don't really believe that nothing's ever lost. It either comes back or it doesn't. It's not really lost. But I do understand what you're saying. I do see you, Clementine. If you want to stick around, okay, so Jazz, my dear. When I first, whew, okay. First off, I'm sorry that you feel the way you're feeling, because I get a lot of like confusion and lost. Just the feeling of feeling lost and confused. I'm going to send you some hugs. Remember, this too shall pass. And things that we think we are lost, they, like I said before, they either come back around or they were actually not meant for us to begin with. It's just something sometimes really intense that can cause pain. Connections can come in order to catalyze us into deeper growth, deeper awareness of where we might be placing importance or our energy, or where we might be bypassing our power, etc. Okay, this feels like that type of connection, because I feel I don't even know the word. It feels very intense. It also feels a bit chaotic in the energy dynamics that were going on. Okay. As I read it currently, it feels like this person came into, I'm hearing power. So it feels like where you might have, where you might be displacing, bypassing, rejecting, denying, or even giving away your power. It feels like I don't know if you put this person on a pedestal, or if you're putting love on a pedestal, or like people that you're into, you put them on a pedestal. There's something about that that's coming in, that it's like, it wants to, it's happening, or it happened, or it occurred in order to bring your awareness to how you're placing an emphasized importance on this concept of love or people. And it's not to say that you don't deserve love, or you don't deserve to have a partnership, a romantic partnership in that way. Not at all. It's more about understanding where you're placing your power. It feels like you're actually bypassing your power when you do this. And with, let's see, the person that you actually want to call in, how do I say this? The person that you actually want to call in wouldn't be, I guess, in alignment with how you're currently aligned. Okay? That's why all of these other connections are happening, in order to show you where your alignment truly is, and where you're bypassing your power. Okay? That's kind of what I get for you, my dear. That's not to diminish what you're feeling. It's not to say, oh, just don't feel it, just take your power back, etc. I would say be gentle with yourself right now, and have tremendous compassion towards yourself, because it is fresh, like a fresh wound. I would be very gentle and compassionate towards yourself, and you maybe utilize that, if you feel called to, into deeper awareness and into deeper self-awareness of like, where did this pattern maybe play out in your life before? Because it will typically stem back from our first 7 years of life, including the womb. It's always a pattern of energy. So it feels like power, unbalanced, imbalanced power dynamics. It's almost like you give your power away by putting other people up on a pedestal. It's just an imbalanced power dynamic. And it's not to say don't cherish or adore your partner or somebody that you want to be romantic with. It's just, there's a balance there of between cherishing and adoring, and then completely giving your power away and doing whatever they ask you, whenever, abandoning yourself, rejecting yourself. So there might be some self-abandonment in there as well, self-betrayal in there, because it's the betrayal and the heartbrokenness that you feel now is a reflection of the patterns that were already instilled in you from your first 7 years of life. Okay? So for you, my dear, the theme is power. Okay? Sorry. Didn't get your question. All right. It's just feeling, it's feeling a little, yeah. Sorry, I didn't get to your question. Maybe we'll try back again when the energies, I would say Take what resonates, let it percolate for a minute, Jazz. And if nothing resonated with you, don't take it at all. But that's kind of the best, you know, that's the best advice I can give right now. Monica, Amanda, okay. I'm not sure. Can you be more specific, Amanda? You're welcome, Jazz. You're welcome, Jazzy. Be more specific, Amanda. And then Monica says, will I be able to she passed away a month ago, and I've been experiencing a lightness since. Just kind of on the surface level, what I kind of get with that, Amanda, is that there's some, how do I say this? There's been, it's a closure that's happened with some of the maybe patterns and stuff. This is what I'm tuning into. There's like a closure. When people pass on, there's a closure, as well as a passing on of any unhealed wounds, beliefs, things that are embedded within the ancestral line. So it feels like when your mother passed, she there were some curses and spells broken in the lineage. There's also some healing that's actually happening now that she's been in spirit. And so that's another aspect that I feel that's kind of like happening and helping, or kind of like attributing to the lightness that you're feeling. As far as your inkling goes, I hear yes. I don't know what your inkling is. It's like she took the demons she took with, yeah. She took her, I'm sorry to hear that. She took her own life, but it feels different than I felt like it would. Yeah. Like she took the karma. Well, she's going to have to deal with that. When we take our own lives, it's not to judge anybody, but that does create a certain kind of karma. And so, but like I feel like every situation is different. Every person is different. So while she might have added certain karma, it feels like she also severed some things from the bloodline. And that feels like there were some curses and spells there. That's how it comes across to me. You might think of them as demons. There was some definite heavy energy that was cut out of the line when she chose to, when she made that choice. Yeah. That's what I feel, my dear. It's almost like she was meant to do this, which sounds weird, but it's what came to me. I see what you're saying. And, let it kind of, marinate, because it's very fresh. And also at the same time, just, trust your own intuition. But I get what, like, it sounds weird. It doesn't, and just like in the coming months and years, I feel like new awarenesses will come to you and build off of that and maybe create greater clarity or create other like almost dimensions of understanding that what happened. But yeah, like I get what you're saying. Yeah, but it does feel like she also helps to uh, break some. The way they come across as curses and spells, that's interesting. I don't know how or why, but that's how it comes across. So yeah. You're welcome. Amanda says, thank you. I appreciate it greatly. Totally right with the curses. Yeah. Your family calls it demons, but that's how I feel. Yeah. I mean, they can be two different things, but they can also be one and the same, depending. Because if the family or a bloodline or you yourself are quote unquote cursed, or you have spells put on you, it can bring in that type of energy. It can also create certain blind spots and holes within your consciousness to bring even more of the same type of low vibrational beings into your field, for sure. So yeah, it feels like there was some kind of contract broken or something that happened with that. So yeah, trust your own intuition. You're right on. All right, my dears. It's interesting because I had a feeling that our lineage had done something that caused deep pain. Most of our lineages have. Even I mean, and that's not excluding any lineage, you know, whether it's native or whatever. Like in the dark ages, a lot of harm was done, right? But like a lot of what I found in my own, you know, because it's not any judgment on me, but what I found in my own findings is that, you know, what do they call them? Colonizers came here, colonized the lands. They put a lot of the natives out, and they fucked them over royally. And what a lot of the not a lot of, but what I found, at least some of the natives did, or their shamans, their witches, would go and curse lands. They would curse lineages, throw curses. So we've all done stuff. It's not excluded, or it's not exclusive. Which trickled down to me here and now. Yep. Everything that is not. This is why I think this is why I'm so. I've studied a little bit of, like, in the Nahual tradition, like ancient Mexicas. And I was trained in that form of ancestral healing to help heal a lot of that stuff. However, that's why ancestral healing is so, like, important to me, because one thing I've realized in my own healing journey is that anything that our ancestors, or even like your mom just passed away, like my mom passed away in 2018. She had a lot of unresolved stuff. I'm literally still moving through her stuff, because any unresolved issue gets passed to the next in line, until it's actually healed. And so that's what I've been trying to do: break the curses and trauma. This is ancestral. Yeah. Good for you. That's beautiful. That's dope. Every time you help the ancestors, you're helping yourself. Every time you help yourself, you're helping the ancestors, and it's all connected. So keep on doing what you're doing. Good for you. Yay. So anyways, since we only have 2 people on, I'm gonna go. Thank y'all for hanging out and watching. I will be back tomorrow with more readings. Yeah. You're welcome, Amanda. And I will see y'all later. Have a beautiful day. Mwah. Infinite love and blessings.